Hello everyone and welcome to Panzer Dragoon on the SEGA Saturn. I am Munwell Sheep yet again, and this is a fantastic on-rail shooter that was released at the very start of the SEGA Saturn life cycle. Basically, this was a launch title for the system, and boy has it aged, but that doesn't make it any worse of a game. This is a fantastic game that I love to play, I love talking about. This is just amazing through and through. So basically this takes place in the far future where dragons apparently roam the land, but they're not exactly that common, but they exist. And well, you got these guys by here, which are the Imperials. Now these Imperial goons are, I don't know much about the lore of this franchise, but I assume they are considered the bad guys of the series. But basically, this entire game, it follows you as a guy whose name escapes me at the moment. I think it might be Carl. I'm not entirely sure. Huh. What you call a dead bee, Carl? A zombie, Carl! If anyone hasn't seen that joke, trust me, it's amazing. It's like that guy from The Walking Dead, and it's good, it's good. Anyway, what's this? So, one of these guys riding on these sort of raptor goon things is, well, us. But of course, an Empire ship is popping out of nowhere and bad things are about to happen. So I think it's time for us to skedaddle, because otherwise, well, we're gonna get killed. And what is that thing? You know, to this day, I don't know what this thing's meant to be. I always thought of it as some sort of pancake that sort of slides across the floor. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, this game is absolutely amazing. The FMV cutscene quality is a bit it's not the best, but it's an early SEGA Saturn game. What can you expect? Coming for you. Where'd he go? Maybe he's inside this ominous cave. Let's go check it out. Now, normally I don't talk during cutscenes, but unfortunately the cutscenes in this game all involve around gibberish dialogue. You know, the kind of things where they make up a language and it just doesn't really work out too well. So, to save you from hearing nothing but footsteps and I'm gonna be talking. Yeah. Although, considering this is the first in the series, it does a lot of world building. I mean, a lot more world building that most on-rail shooters tend to try. And this series was essentially Nintendo's answer to Star Fox. That's a bit backwards. Sega's answer to Star Fox, and as you know, Star Fox is Nintendo's glorious on-rail shooter series. And at the time, this game was just flat out revolutionary. I'll get into why exactly as time goes on, just because it has a whole new take on the on-rail shooter genre, and I'd hate to see the thing cut that in half. Whoa, whoa, lasers! Oh snap! Run for your life! But basically, this game does a lot of changes to the on-rail shooter genre that a lot of games don't really bother doing, and hasn't bothered done since. It's quite weird how this game's still, to this day, one of the more unique on-rail shooters. Of course, this isn't just a single game series. There's 3 games in total. Wait, not 3. 4 games. I completely forget about the Xbox version. There's 4 games in total in this series, 3 of which are on-rail shooters, and one of the games is actually a full-fledged RPG. An RPG that I can't see myself LPing or talking much about because it's an extremely rare game. If you own a copy of it, you're lucky. And from what I hear from people who do own the game, it is pretty good, but that's for another time. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that's an explosive start to a game, wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. Oh, my head. Oh, God. My ears are ringing. What the? There be dragons! Dragons are coming. So yeah, we got basically this guy back here, the blue dragon, which is the protagonist dragon of the game. And you got this dark dragon who, as you can tell by the fact he has a menacing roar scream, is the baddie, the big bad doo-doo. Much like the introductory text mentioned, we need to fight this dark dragon and stop it. In fact, we're actually about to get... Oh my god, look at the nose in that dragon. Nose! Nose! Bloody nose, you nosy bastard! Look at the size of that nose! Anyway. It's time for some Doctor Who action. What? Yeah, there's nothing like a bit of time stream for FMV sequences, isn't it? I will not. And if you can't tell already, the actual audio, the music, the soundtrack bleh, of this game is, oh my good god, amazing. Seriously, this game has a phenomenal soundtrack, and if you get the time, I would heavily recommend you just to listen to the soundtrack. Hell, pause the video and chuck the soundtrack on just to listen to it, because this soundtrack is amazing. Ah, my ears. Alright, calm down, Epona. Just nick this guy's weapon and go to that tower and take out this big bear dragon, shall we? Okay, Epona, let's go. But that's not my name! Shut up, you Epona! Why Epona? I don't know, I've been in a Zelda mood of late. So, it's time to venture off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Panzer Dragoon on the SEGA Saturn. Oh god, the music, oh the nostalgia, the sheer amazement that is this game. Now this game doesn't have the longest draw distance, but what you're going to do, it's a very early SEGA Saturn game. Considering it's a console that doesn't do 3D all that well, when this game was released, this looked pretty damn good. It didn't look the best, obviously, because the PS1 was doing much more complex things, but it still looked pretty damn good for what it was. So let's begin. Now, as you can see by here, you got normal game at the top. You can actually choose between 3 difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. I don't recommend doing hard difficulty. I don't recommend doing easy, because if you do easy, you can't beat the game. So do the normal difficulty, trust me. Now, this game isn't easy. I am going to say that right now. This is one of the hardest games I actually own. And you're not going to see too much of the difficulty for the first part, and maybe second part, but it'll ramp up before long. But yeah, like I said, this is an on-rail shooter. You need to push the A, B, or C button on the SEGA Saturn controller to shoot. If you hold down the A, B, or C button, then your target reticle will start locking on, and your dragon will shoot laser beam. No, wait, laser. Just imagine that with Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. He's going to shoot those laser beams at enemies that are locked on. And if you guys can't tell already, if any of you play Sonic Adventure, this gameplay has basically got recycled for those tornado sequences in the original Sonic Adventure. Granted, they're a lot easier in that because, well, the difficulty isn't meant to be so hard. This is, shall we say, a really challenging game. Now, one of the unique things about Panzer Dragoon compared to most on-rail shooter is the fact that you have full 360-degree control over where you're aiming. So, as with more on-rail shooters, you continue moving forward. That's just the way you go. But you can move to the left and right, you can aim to the left and right of the screen, and even behind you to take out enemies. And that's why you need to pay close attention to the radar that is at the top right of the screen. If there's enemies behind you on that radar, turn around, shoot them before they shoot you. And honestly, this game, right now it's really mellow, it doesn't throw much at you at all, but later on, the game's going to start throwing tons of enemies, tons of projectiles, and you need to manage them all at once. And basically, if you're really good at reactions, if you've got good reactions, you'll do fine. But when I say good reactions, I don't mean normal good reactions, I mean Hercules level of God reactions. Seriously, this game throws a lot at you. But like I said, this music, oh, the soundtrack. Like this first song by here is called Flight, and it's one of my favourite songs in the entire game. It's just such a tranquil little tune to get you into the spirit of, yeah boy, flying a dragon. What you gonna do about it? Of course, I have to give props to the scenery as well. Despite that the water graphics by here have aged, the reflections aren't actually... The reflections are done by a neat trick where they sort of make a 2D sprite of the environment and sort of overlay it on the water. Doesn't matter how it's done, it still looks very good today, even though it's been done with limited technology. And to be honest, I'm actually surprised at how good the picture quality of this came out, because I didn't use the cables that normally make things look ultra uber epic quality like I normally do, but I don't know, the picture quality still came out the same, which is surprising. So anyway, let's go into this here cavern, or transitional scenes. Now, a lot of the projectiles that get shot at you in this game, you're gonna have to be careful of them because it can be quite difficult to judge their depth. This is an old game after all, and the projectiles are usually done by 2D sprites, which means, well, it's kind of hard to tell where they are compared to your face, you know? It's just trying dodging them is quite a difficult deal. But anyway, with that's basically the entirety of the first stage over and done with. It's time to meet the first boss fight. Now for boss fights, as you can see, you can do the lasers and you can shoot out a lot of beams at enemies and stuff. Use the laser beams to lock on to all the enemies that surround the ship at the very start, and then continue flailing on it with the standard gun. Now you can use the laser beam on the ship. I don't recommend it because in most cases against these boss fights, the normal gun, which is just you're mashing the A, B or C button, works wonders. It does the most damage against a lot of these enemy crafts. The one exception probably being the final boss fight, but we'll get into that when we get into that. This is a 4-part LP, folks. We're not going to see the final boss for some time. Anyway, one little trick that I tend to use to be able to take these bosses' health down quite a bit is essentially I play the Saturn controller sort of like a piano, where I have 3 fingers all on the A, B, C buttons at the same time, and I just sort of tap them like a madman, and it's just shoot. Like you can see me do it by ear. I shoot a massive volley of laser beams, and it hurts my fingers after a while doing the things this quick. But trust me, it's handy. It's required. And needless to say, whenever things get shot towards you, shoot them out of the sky before they hit you, because otherwise they're gonna hurt. And especially these giant torpedoes. Yeah, I'm gonna go with torpedoes. Just take it. Basically, if you see something come towards you, either try to dodge it, which you can't really do in the side or back view, or you could try and just shoot it out of the sky, which I recommend. Anyway, with that, folks, that is the end of the first boss fight and the end of the first part of Panzer Dragoon. There we go, episode 1 complete. Oh. So with that, thank you all for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And when we return next time, we'll take on episode 2 and episode 3 of this game. Thanks for watching. Don't be sheepish, people. I'll see you next time. Bye!